rollout, she worked as a telenurse for the Provincial Health Services Authority at 811, witnessing firsthand the discrepancy between the volume and nature of adverse reactions versus what has been reported to the public. And you've probably seen her video because she stood down or stared down the PHSA Board of Directors because she is courageous and she's bold and she's not gonna sit silent. Can we welcome Nurse Aurora? All right.
Another hero. Yeah.
Bear with me, I don't like public speaking.
You're awesome at it.
Thanks, Justin. Thank you. My name is Aurora Bissamon-Petit. I am one of the thousands of nurses in BC that were fired more than 14 months ago due to the unethical, immoral, unlawful, non-scientific healthcare worker injection mandates. My intention of speaking today is somewhat different from when Marcella had originally asked me. For those of you not aware of why I was asked to speak here today, as Marcella mentioned, I attended PHSA's open board meeting, confronting their illogical stance and asking some of the questions that many of us have. I recommend you go to watch the video on my Instagram account, Aurora Healings, if you haven't seen it. It's really not often that I will say, damn, did I kill it? But this video is one of those times. Thank you. For those of you who have seen the video already, I'm hoping that what I share today will shed some light on why I chose to speak up. For the past week, I've been humming and hawing about trying to compartmentalize where I'm at so I could show up here and give an inspiring speech. I decided instead to show up as I am, with the hopes that this is enough and perhaps I can inspire you all in a different way than I had originally planned. Where I'm at today is a place of immense struggle. What has been done to us these past 3 years, the individual and collective traumas, has had a detrimental effect on my mental health. There are days when the pain of all of this, the moral wounding, the injuries and death, the irreparable rupture of families and friendships, the hatred and gaslighting spewed our way, the heartbreak and the loss of humanity in so many. This overwhelms me, and there's little more that I have capacity for than to lay on the floor or to wander around my house crying. Knowing that our government would rather me be a dependent, deflated shell of myself than out there caring for and helping others, fulfilling meaning and purpose in my life. That my veracity is such a threat to the narrative that my voice needs to be eliminated from the healthcare system at all costs. This pain cuts so deep some days. I want to say clearly that I am of sound mind, that I have no plans of hurting myself, and that I am not suicidal. It's absurd that I even need to say this, but this is the reality we live in for anyone who speaks out, especially as I'm acknowledging how my mental health has been impacted. One of the things about my story that seemed to strike people the most, aside from what I experienced while working for Provincial Health Services Authority, is that as a nurse, I need to be on welfare and go to the food bank. The last time I went was this morning on my way here. Getting to this point was an incredibly painful process, not just for me personally, but for what we are experiencing collectively, that this is how bad things have gotten. Knowing that I am but a mere representation of far too many like me. I always viewed welfare as something that we as a society offer to those who are struggling so immensely that they have no other option but to accept this help. When it was suggested to me that I now fit into this category of such immense struggle and need, it knocked me sideways. I was crushed. I spent 3 days on the floor in disbelief, sobbing. I had to grieve before I could surrender and accept that this is where my life is at. I have been down many times before, and I always find a way to pick myself up. This is a process that in the past I've tried to rush through, and I have learned the difference it makes to surrender to the processing of my struggles. What has helped me the most and has been the greatest gift is the relationships and the people in my life. During this time, I have met absolutely incredible people and developed some of the most meaningful, supportive, genuine, loving relationships that I don't know I would have developed otherwise. With many of these people, I doubt we would have crossed paths in any other way. This has been such a beautiful silver lining of this whole experience that I certainly wasn't expecting, and yet was exactly what I needed. I've built a stronger relationship with myself and my connection with Source, something many of you call God, divine, universe, whatever you call it. Embodying at every level of my being what it means to trust my true self and my intuition. Even when everything and everyone around me are trying to convince me that what I know to be true is wrong.
They're wrong.
When things feel most chaotic and I'm able to take a step back, there's a sense of calm and a breath of relief that comes in as I'm reminded that there's a much bigger picture of what's happening in our world at play. That even if I can't see it yet, I can feel the energy shifting.
Yes.
It may not be what you would expect to hear from a nurse, me talking about my spirituality and my connection with Source. But this is exactly what has supported and guided me in navigating these times, and even in the more practical sense, such as when I confronted Provincial Health Services Authority. Had I not leaned into this connection, had I been standing up for only myself, I don't know that I would have gone through with showing up to their board meeting that day.
Well, you did it.
It was the reminder that showing up there was me acting in service to those in spirit and to those here that gave me the courage to do what I did.
Yes. Bravo.
I have a profound faith and trust in what is yet to come and in my own purpose here. What I know from my years studying trauma and the impact that it has on the nervous system is how much connection, pleasure, joy, play, and laughter build resilience and our capacity to endure hardships. There are times of immediate threat when it makes sense to put everything else aside and to put all of your energy and effort into mitigating that threat. this is not one of those times. We're already 3 years in. This is clearly not a short war. So don't give up all the incredible work we are doing in the freedom community. Today is one amazing example of that. Goodbye, David Eby. But also, ask yourself, who and what are the people, experiences, and environments that I can intentionally engage with that will bring me more connection, more pleasure, more joy, more play, and more laughter, that will build my own resilience and my own capacity to endure these hardships. This is something that I'm certainly not perfect at, and yet I continually strive towards more of this. It's difficult for me to accept help, but as I clearly need it, and some of you have offered, for anyone wanting to help, you can reach out to me on my Instagram, Aurora Healings, or email the C19truthproject@gmail.com. I'll finish off with this quote from Bobby Opp, shared by one of my favorite awake spiritual people, Laura Matsu. She's heavily censored and shadow banned. Years from now, they're going to ask how you did it, how you navigated through it all, how you managed to protect your mind and your body from all the propaganda, the programming, the corruption, the manipulation, and how you remained a free-thinking, sovereign being. Woo! They're going to want to know your stories. They're going to want to know, to understand how you walked through the fucking fire, head held high, voice steady and strong, and came out on the other side more powerful and more free than ever before. You are all legends in the making, and most of you don't know it yet. Thank you.
Guys, this is courage in action right here. Can we just give her a round of applause? You know, that's raw. Not a lot of people like to share the struggle that they're going through, but this is the time and the age that we are in. There are people all around us struggling. And Nurse Aurora, thank you so much for sharing your story. Somebody needed to hear that today. It's on time. Thank you.